Hey everybody, this is Josh with Hi-Fidelity Records. Long time no see. Been out of commission for a little while. Had the Mac in the shop. Shout out to my homies at Dynamic Audio for taking care of me on the Macintosh. If you're in the Midwest and you're looking for awesome Macintosh gear, I mean, they have the whole catalog worth of Macintosh gear at Dynamic Audio. So give them a shout. They're going to take care of you. I will shoot a link down in the description for you to get in contact with them. But without further ado, let's talk about why we're here. We're talking about Asia. All right, maybe I was a little off key there, but Asia, classic, 1977, Steely Dan, Donald Fagen, Walter Becker, the ultimate perfectionists. I can relate. I'm a little OCD myself, but that's only because we want the very best. We want to show you the very best of our work, and man, they knocked it out of the park with Asia. There's no doubt about that. And we're going to do a shootout of more than a couple of pressings. We're going to start off with the original, the AB 1006 original pressing, mastered by our boy, the legend, Mr. Bernie Grundman. Then we're going to be shooting that dude out with the first audiophile version, Mobile Fidelity. Get the MoFi strip on there. This one was done by, pretty sure this was the Stan Ricker. If it wasn't, it was Jack Hunt. And then, the one that's been the latest and greatest, the Cisco, mastered by one and only Mr. Kevin Gray. And then, the newest and most lauded right now, the UHQR by Analogue Productions, cut at 45 RPM, also done by the legend Mr. Bernie Grundman. But first, before we get into this shootout, let's check out the equipment we shot it out on. First up for power, we're rocking with the Macintosh 6700 receiver, pumping at a blistering 200 watts per channel. And for our turntable, rocking with the Marantz TT15 made by Clear Audio with the Ortophon Black Movie Magnet cartridge installed. And for our speakers, rocking with the Cornwall 3s, the big boys with the 15-inch woofers. Okay, now that we've checked out what we shot this dude out on, and I do think that's important because everything is system dependent, so it's important that I go through each piece of the setup so that you know what I have compared to what you have, and that way, you know, you can figure out what we're doing with these shootouts. So, without further ado, let's get into the shootout. Let's talk a little bit about the original, the AB 1006. This one obviously mastered by the legend Bernie Grundman, and it is fantastic. It has all of that warm vintage analog magic that you need with a record like this. I really love it. You're not going to go wrong with this pressing. Finding a clean one though, you might. You know, a near mint one, they're getting harder and harder to find, but make sure that you find a nice and clean one because that is imperative for this record. And so I say this is probably going to be your best budget pressing, but when I say budget, I'm not talking about bad sound. This thing still sounds amazing. And like I said, you know, they're not polishing any turds, as they say, with these audiophile labels. You know, they're finding excellent sounding records like Asia, and then they're just kind of putting their spin on it. So this original one done by Bernie Grundman, fantastic. Just make sure you find a near mint one. That's my one caveat with this one. Next up, we're gonna go to the Mobile Fidelity version. Now, this one suffers from the smiley face EQ. Now, what are we talking about when we're talking about smiley face EQ? We're talking about the mid-range is kind of been sucked out of this dude, and it's basically tipped up highs, tipped up lows, and unfortunately this also has really kind of tubby or bloated bass. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you tubby, but yeah, it's tubby. And by tubby, I mean it's not tight. Like when you go to a concert and that kick drum hits you right in the chest, that's what I'm talking about, and this one just doesn't have it. I mean, The one good thing I can say about the Mobile Fidelity pressing is it is on super quiet vinyl. You know, it's on the JVC Super Vinyl, which we joked about on the Stephen Westman show, if you watch that, with Mazzy talking about, you know, was it made from a whale blubber or not? But anyways, that formula is gone. The new JVC, the Super Vinyl that they use now, completely different formula than this. So this is super quiet. If you want a super quiet pressing, right out of the gate, then this is the one to get. But as far as sound goes, I just can't recommend this. It's a fail. And one of the few fails by Mobile Fidelity from that original run, because I like a lot of the stuff they did, but this ain't it, as the kids say. So moving on to the next audiophile reissue, we're going to do the 2008, I believe this was, the Cisco. Now this one was cut by Kevin Gray. These were limited. Check out the sticker on the back. I'm not really quite sure how many they made of these dudes, but make sure you get one that doesn't have the white line fever. And what I'm talking about with the white line fever, the original RTI, because this is pressed at RTI, shout out RTI, the original inner sleeves they had were paper, they were plastic lined paper inner sleeves, and something about the glue, it didn't cure or something, it left white streaks on the edge of the vinyl, and it can affect playback. So make sure you're finding one without the white line fever. Get you a clean one, and you're going to be happy with this. This thing has that nice tight bass I'm talking about that hits you right in the chest. Everything is where it's supposed to be. I can hear Donald Fagen. I can hear him enunciate every word, unlike the Mobile Fidelity, which was buried in there somewhere. This is a fantastic pressing. I think this is the best 33 pressing that you can get, and it's going to run you around the same, maybe a little bit more than our next entry, which is the UHQR, about 150, 200 for a near mint example. But if you don't want to get up every 8 minutes, which you're going to have to for the 45 edition, this is the one. I mean, I can't say enough about the Cisco. There's a reason people have been hunting these ever since it came out. It is a fantastic version of this, and I love it. So, 33. Next up, we're going to go to the man of the hour. The main reason we're doing this, the Analogue Productions UHQR. It's in the lovely Soria style box, as you can see with the, get a little closer here, with the wooden doweled box. Really cool. Slides out, obviously has the jacket in there, has the 2 LPs because it's cut at 45 RPM, remember, and it's got all the awesome liner notes and artwork, and man, Analogue Productions art department just knocked it out of the park, as they always do. Fantastic job. What I got to say about this one is I put on Black Cow, as I did for all of these, and right away I noticed that this was different. I mean, this has a little something extra, even compared to the Cisco. And I love the Cisco, as we just went over, but this has got a little extra magic. Now, maybe it's because it was cut at 45, as we know. A little more room to grow, a little more room to breathe, a little better sound. And I think that's what we have going on here. Super quiet out of the gate. Now, I did clean all these on the KL audio, so they should be sounding clean anyways, but fantastic pressing. Wow, is all I can say. I mean, I wanted to continue listening. It was almost like I'd never heard Asia before. And those were the first words out of my mouth when I heard the Analogue Productions UHQR. Really fantastic pressing. And it's coming in at around MSRP 150, available still on acousticsounds.com. So if you don't have this, dude, pick it up. If you're adverse to 45 RPM pressings, I would say pick up the Cisco. It's not going to ruin the flow if that's something that you're into. And you're not going to have to get up every, 7 or 8 minutes. Some people, they really want to put it on, get into the flow of the album, and they want to, they want to relax and listen. But as far as sound goes, I just can't in good faith say that the Cisco is as good as this one. I think this one just got a little extra magic, and mastered by Bernie Grundman. So we've come full circle from the original. The master gets to come full circle and realize one of his masterpieces again in the 21st century. So that's it. I think If you're gonna go budget, find you a clean original. If you want 33 and best sound, I'm saying hit the Cisco up. If you want best sound overall, I'm saying that it's gotta be the Analogue Productions UHQR. It's my favorite of all the UHQR Steely Dans that Analogue Productions has done so far, and I think it will be for you too. That being said, I appreciate you guys checking it out. Hit the subscribe button down below. Give me some love. Hit that like button. I'm going to bring you tons of new content. I'm going to have some cool collections that I'm going to have for sale coming up, and I will preview them here first, so you don't want to miss that. So like I said, hit the subscribe, hit the like. We'll see you guys next time, and happy holidays.